All right, everybody. Good morning. Merry Christmas on this Thursday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys have a really good day. I don't know how much I'll be uploading today because it is a major holiday, but we got at least a couple of things to get through here, like our weekly Thursday video, pass coverage Thursday. Seahawks played a week ago. Seems like a long time ago, I know, but we have not done this yet. Got to do it. So lock in and we'll talk a little bit about the pass coverage, who gave up what, according to Pro Football Reference. Worth noting that, first of all, Thursday was bad, right? We gave up over 500 yards. We gave up almost 600 yards total, and 450 plus of it was through the air. So this stuff is not going to look great today, right? Like I can tell you that right now. And second of all, because there was so much, there are going to be some noticeable discrepancies between PFF and PFR, which is what we're using here. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you guys about Sleeper. I'll tell you a little secret as well. It's more than just a platform for fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users have enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but there's so much more to it. You have live stats, real-time updates of all stats. You have a news feed with lightning-fast updates on players and teams, and a real-time chat where you can engage with other users about plays, performances, games, all kinds of stuff during the sports season. So download Sleeper, experience it for yourself, and don't forget to use my promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit, and pair that with their new promo that will give you a free $20 entry, no deposit needed. So you can use both of those promos. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and going. So check out Sleeper today and use those promos. All right. So pass coverage. We're going to start with the linebackers here, which is very, very stark contrast here. You got Ernest Jones, according to PFR, and remember, Pro Football Reference is what we're using in this video, 5 targets for 18 yards. That's really, really good. And I know PFF had slightly different numbers. I know they still said he didn't get lit up, but it does kind of highlight something. 5 targets, 18 yards is very, very good. If I'm getting that from my inside linebacker, I'm feeling great about things. So, yeah, Ernest Jones doesn't seem like he was the problem. Unfortunately, Drake Thomas, I can't say the same about him. 8 targets for him. He got targeted 8 times according to PFR. 6 completions, 112 yards. So he got absolutely lit up. Excuse me. Absolutely lit up. And I mean, it happens, but I do think that it highlights a flaw in his game, specifically with how aggressive he is attacking play action. So I do think that he's a good player, but there is a reason why he wasn't a highly coveted player. There are flaws here, and they are flaws that a really good coach like McVay can exploit, and a really good quarterback like Stafford can exploit. So yeah, it was not a good game by him at all. And it is something that I think is a concern down the line because we're going to be playing eventually better offenses as we go through the playoffs. Eventually, you're going to run into somebody that looks at Drake Thomas, a pretty good player, and says, I think we can exploit him. And he's probably right. Okay, so that's the linebacker stuff. Drake Thomas, really, really rough. Ernest Jones, however, clean according to PFR. Edge rusher, not great this week. We had a couple of targets on Derek Hall. Only one got completed, but it went for a grand total of 16 yards. So kind of a bigger play here. Again, catching guys like Derek Hall in coverage. I think the Colts did that one time. And now we see the Rams doing it too. So maybe a good idea to try to prevent that exact scenario as much as possible. And then DeMarcus Lawrence got targeted once, gave up one completion for 19, 19 yards. Not great. I don't really sweat how much our edge rushers are giving up in coverage because it doesn't happen often enough to, I think, be educational. I don't know if I learn anything, but it's worth noting that in this last game, the Rams got us a couple times, and that's a couple times more than most teams get us. Like, what, on average, it's like one noticeable completion per game, probably even less, because some of the completions go for like nothing or no gain or less than no gain. So not great. Not everything you wanted to see there for sure. Okay. So cornerback. Let's take a look at cornerback now. Devin Witherspoon, not his greatest game, but 6 targets for 3 completions. That's okay. But 80 yards, definitely not okay. So definitely not a game that Devin Witherspoon wants to remember. A lot of it was on one big play, but I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, Devin Witherspoon is a 3-time Pro Bowler, and we should hold him to a higher standard. I don't think he played a terrible game the way those numbers would indicate, but it was a rough game for him. And his coverage numbers this year, they are a little bit misleading because of basically 2 really, really tough touchdowns he gave up against Arizona way back in week, I think it was week 4, but they're still not that great. And I think that it's still well worth it given all the other great things we're getting out of him. It is worth noting this is one area where he may never have supercharged numbers on the level of like a Pat Surtain. Like he might always just have really good cover numbers, and he'll make up for it in other ways compared to players like Pat Surtain. Reek Woolen was actually pretty darn clean this week, I believe. Sorry, guys, I put together these numbers so long ago. I don't remember all of them, but 2 targets for 2 completions and 4 yards. So hard to beat that. He did give up 1 touchdown at the goal line, but whatever. I don't care. You shouldn't either. I think it was like a 1-yard touchdown pass. What are you going to do? There's not much you can do sometimes at the goal line. 78.9 QB rating when targeted over this year, which is still really good, especially given where he started the season. Josh Jobe, I know people are beating up on him this week. 8 targets there. It's going to be 4 completions for all of 61 yards, which is not good, definitely. But I definitely don't look at Josh Jobe and say he was the main reason why we had problems. Now, to me, it's not really on Josh Jobe's head. It is more on the team for allowing Josh Jobe to get into situations where he's covering Puka Nacua in a game where the Rams don't even have Devontae Adams. Josh Jobe should be guarding other players on that Rams team, guys like Mumford, guys like what's his name, Xavier Smith. Can't remember all the random AI generated names they had on that Rams receiver core last week, but there are plenty of opportunities for Josh Jobe to help you win a game without trying to defend on Puka Nacua. Maybe, I mean, not even really a maybe at this point, a top 3 receiver in this league. Depends on how you feel about guys like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, JSN. But at this point, with the season he's having, probably top 3. And he also gave up a touchdown in this game as well. I'm not really tripping on that too much. By the way, his QB rating when targeted is still really good, sub 78. Hard to beat that. So that's why I say a lot of the anger towards him is going to be overstated. I think that a lot of the blame people put on him is overstated. But for me personally, it's it's just one of those things where you got to protect him a little bit. You have several corners on this team better than Josh Jobe. Get the corners that are better than Josh Jobe on the best players on the other team. And I believe that's it because I don't think that Pritchett did not get targeted. So it was just Spoon, Woolen, and Jobe, and mixed bag of results, as you can clearly see. Safeties, we did have Julian Love in that whole game. He got targeted once and 1 completion for 11 yards. So not really much to report, not anything to really note. Just kind of a low volume game here, which does deserve its own condemnation, I guess, because he was out there so much. Only getting targeted that much is actually really cool, but I don't know if there's a ton to really say about it. All right, so you got Kobe Bryant next up here. He did get hurt. 4 targets, missed the whole 4th quarter in overtime when the comeback got crazy. Only allowed 1 completion, which is great, but the 1 completion went for over 60 yards, or almost 60 yards, 58. And it was a weird play on the 58-yarder. He kind of got caught playing corner against Puka when he's a safety. And I can't really get too mad at Kobe for it. I feel like he just got caught in a bad spot. But it's an ugly looking play. And I mean, it's been a good year for Kobe. QB rating when targeted is 54. We don't give up a lot of big plays. So I don't mean to try to absolve him of anything he does that's wrong, but That play was just kind of a funky play to me. Nick E-Man Worry did get picked on a little bit. 7 targets in this game for 7 completions and about, what is this, 55? Yeah, 55 yards. So not the end of the world. He also gave up a touchdown, by the way. But you definitely saw that the Rams understood his flaws as a player and were targeting him. And they mostly had success when they did it. Maybe not as much success as when they targeted Drake Thomas, but they did have some success going at him. So not everything that you're looking for here. Obviously, a lot of players got beat up a little bit in coverage. Okada got in at the end of that game. He got targeted 3 times for, let's make sure I get this right, 1 completion, and it was a big play. It was a 25-yarder, and then I think he got hit with a penalty on that play as well. So, not great. You're not thrilled about that. And we're gonna need Okada to be a little bit better going forward because we're gonna need him for at least 1 week, I think, maybe more. But, yeah, just not a very good game. It happens. Hopefully, it never happens again to this extent. And, I don't think there's too much else to say. So, thanks for watching. That is your Past Coverage Thursday for today. Merry Christmas. More videos coming soon. Everybody have a good holiday.